After this semester, my understanding of games was completely changed. I used to think that games were all about fighting against each other and solving puzzles. But this semester, after learning Jackie's theories of spatial narrative and emergent narrative, combined with games such as No Man's Sky and Gris, as well as Genshin Impact, which I repeatedly observed during edition in this video, I completely changed my mind. Games are actually multi-emotional carriers. Technologies, aesthetics, and culture are all combined in it. For example, the desolate planet in No Man's Sky, the interracial interaction in the space station, and the log of the crashed spaceship are not isolated scenes. When you pick up an unset log in a storm, the loneliness between the lines and anticipation of a reunion, this is the emergent narrative that Professor affirms. When I was editing the Liyue scene in Genshin Impact, I also found that when players encounter an NPC and listen to him talk about folktales and then look at the buildings in the street, that feeling of experiencing stories while exploration is completely similar to No Man's Sky. Gris shocked me even more. It conveys loss and acceptance through color changes from black and white to a variety of colors. Without a single dialogue, it strikes a chord with people's heart. The study of audio design has also enabled me to break through my cognition. The book states that the core of game mixing is subtraction. In the redesign of Cuphead, I replaced the tense sound effects with vegetable cutting sounds, and the professor said it fits the relaxed context. When editing Minjing scenes in Genshin Impact, I noticed that it determined the character style with just one peaking opera singing segment. This made me even more convinced that technology always serves emotions and scenes. In this semester's creation, I have two very important reflections, both from R&D documents and class reading. The first one is the transformation from technology to core gameplay. At first, I thought the audio was just a post-production, but the view in my reading that the style of audio design needs to be determined in advance, and the experience of Cuphead audio team locking on ritual jazz in advance completely changed me. The professor once asked me, how does sound shape a sense of classic that has never been experienced by you? When I was editing the scene in Genshin Impact, I found the answer. It predetermined the scene with 3 lines. Even if players haven't played the game, they can still feel the delicate emotions through videos. Later, I analyzed No Man's Sky and deliberately set the scene of loneliness and encounter in advance. Combined with the ambient sound, and emotional resonance was indeed stronger. The second reflection is accept imperfection and prioritize emotional resonance. The teacher said that the core of my storyboard was not conveyed. I was once anxious about my technique skills and even asked, how can a small team balance technology and creativity? It was not until I learned that Chunks of Seven tells cross-cultural stories with simple symbols. Now I understand that creation doesn't have to pursue perfection. The key lies in touching people's hearts with details like in Gris. This semester, what I care about most is the emotional healing power and cultural inheritance responsibility of games. Let's start with the power of emotional healing. Games should not merely be tools that offer people joy. They should also be containers for emotions. The scene in Gris, where the girl walks in the rain, and the picture gradually brightens, calmed my sadness. When I was editing the festival videos in Genshin Impact, watching the lanterns floating to the night sky, the warm feeling also reminded me of the time spent celebrating Chinese traditional festivals with my family. These experiences made me firmly believe that games can be an important carrier of emotional resonance. In addition, Cuphead made the aesthetics of the 1930s 24-frame hand-drawn animation, but the professor reminded me to critically choose what to pass on and overcome the limitations of times. This is also reflected in Genshin Impact. It uses the upturned eaves of Li Yue to restore Huizhou style architecture and pass on traditional Chinese architectural culture. And Chants of Senna uses symbolic puzzles to talk about communication, just like Genshin Impact uses lyrics in the native language of Nata people to convey culture. Both prove that games can be tools to break down barriers. Finally, I'd like to talk about my idea for a small studio. Although I haven't decided a name yet, I will adhere to the spirit of small but exquisite. My core is emotional narrative plus unique aesthetics. Not chasing realistic style, but seeking inspiration from traditional art. Playing Genshin Impact made me realize the importance of a unique style. So, I think I'll use traditional Chinese culture elements to let the game convey emotions, just like Genshin Impact defines a country with a melody. I will attach importance to cultural inclusiveness and player co-creation, just like Genshin Impact opens up secondary creations and No Man's Sky designs open exploration spaces, allowing players' emotions to become part of the creation. What I most want to say is, games are never just codes, but containers that can hold emotions and memories. Just like the Genshin Impact video are edited, every frame is filled with the anticipation of resonance. In the future, I want to keep making such games. I don't aim for them to be extremely popular and everyone likes it. I just hope that everyone who has played them can say, "This game understands me."